What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. All right, check this out. I got a quick video for you guys as my coffee is brewing right now. Yesterday, me and my boy, Pokedoodle9, my son, we're sitting in the car and I got some YouTube videos playing, right? And a video comes on by my dude ISO. Shout out ISO Motion Gaming. Shout out to you, bro. So I'm watching this video by ISO and he's talking about how exclusives matter, right? Now, I've said this before in the past. I agree with him 120% when he's talking about exclusives and how they matter and how exclusives move and drive platforms. A lot of you guys have said it yourselves, right? Exclusives do matter. But this is what got me. So he's making a video and he says, he starts mentioning some exclusives, right? So for Sony, I think he mentioned God of War and he mentioned The Last of Us. So he mentions two. And then for the Xbox, he mentioned Halo and Gears. I think those are the two that he mentioned. Now here's the messed up part, right? I finished watching the entire video, me and Pokedoodle in the car, right? And after the video was done, we look at each other and we're like, man, he missed a whole bunch of exclusives for Sony, right? I think for Nintendo he mentioned Mario or whatever. But like he missed a lot of exclusives for Sony. So I hop in this comment section. Number one, show love, show support, and I'll tell him, hey bro, fire intro and outro. He has a new intro and new outro. And then I was like, but you missed a few exclusives, right? And I started rattling off some exclusives just off the top of my head, right? He replies back. I was like, hey, I was just giving an example. I was trying to list all the exclusives. I was like, okay, my bad. But this is the messed up part about this whole situation. When he said that, I went back into my mind and I tried to think off the top of my head for Nintendo exclusives and Microsoft exclusives. And the reason I really thought that he only mentioned those two exclusives for Sony, I thought he just didn't realize all the other exclusives Sony had, because I don't realize any other exclusives that Microsoft has besides Halo and freaking Gears. And that to me is crazy. Like, this generation right now, Microsoft needs to fix this. Microsoft needs, they need to get IPs. They need to get characters that people can relate to. Brings you that nostalgia feeling. Gears is dope, right? Like Marcus, and here's the problem with Gears too. Like I'm playing Gears 5 right now. There's no character like Marcus. And they've already made Marcus old, right? So he's eventually, he can't be in any more Gears, right? So they gotta do something. Master Chief, you keep going on forever. You just change the person that's inside that suit, right? So that's an IP that they can make that last forever, right? Look at what Sony did with God of War. Like the sun, now you're gonna want to see the sun develop, right? Like that's genius. They're gonna keep it going that way. They didn't develop JD the same way that they developed. I can't even think of his name in God of War. So what's Kratos' son's name? You know what I'm talking about. Like JD's cool, but it's not the same. But anyways, here's the problem, right? Again, back to the IP stuff. Sony, God of War, right? Got Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted, Infamous. This is off the top of my head. I didn't rehearse this. What else? What else am I thinking of? It's just those four. There's more. Infamous, I got Infamous, God of War, Uncharted, The Last of Us, Ratchet and Clank. What else? That's five off the top of the head, right? Let's see. Xbox, literally the only things I can think of are Halo, Gears. Do you count Hellblade now? Because they're about to have a Hellblade 2. What else? Now, if you go with Nintendo, you don't even want to play this game with Nintendo. You got Mario, you got Link, you got Donkey Kong, you got Samus, you got who else? Kirby, you got freaking Yoshi has his own games. You have who else we want to go with? Their own fighting game, Smash Bros. That's like its own IP. That thing is crazy. What else we got? We got Pokemon. Like Nintendo is the king when it comes to exclusives and IPs, and that goes to show you how important it is. Because if you create a fan base based on a character or characters or a series, Like you can ride that wave. Like Nintendo has repackaged Mario 50,000 times. I've said this before. Mario plays tennis, baseball, basketball. The dude can ski. What else? He can fly, turn into a squirrel. He can swim. He's like an Olympic swimmer. Like he's a race car driver, professional race car. Mario can do everything. The only thing, like I said before, I said this in an old video of mine. The only thing Mario hasn't done is picked up a gun. So they got me like a Mario Grand Theft Auto type game. Could you imagine that in the Mushroom Kingdom? Oh man, that would actually be fire. But you know, Nintendo's not gonna do nothing like that. But again, it's like they keep repackaging the game and people buy it because you're buying it for Mario. Look what Nintendo could do. Look what Nintendo and what Sony could do. Sony, the only thing Sony showed was the God of War logo. People lost their minds, right? People lost their minds. When Nintendo shows a Metroid logo, oh my God, the internet breaks. I remember the year when Nintendo showed, it was at a Nintendo, one of the Nintendo events, and it was a Splatoon character. I still remember, it gives me goosebumps. It was a Splatoon character running around, and she was shooting whatever, and then it zoomed into the eye, and then you see the Smash Bros logo. People lost their minds again because of the IP, because the exclusives matter. The exclusives matter. I can't think of one exclusive right now that Microsoft has that's going to generate that much excitement. And I'm telling you right now, I am in love with Gears of War. I think that franchise is so underrated. I'm playing them right now back to back to back to back. And every single game to me has gotten better. Now, I don't know what the history was in between it. Like, let's say maybe you're a Sony fan or you were both Microsoft and Sony fans and you played Gears 1, really liked it, but then Sony had something, you know, the first or second God of War, and then you played that, and I don't know. I don't know if that was the case. But for me, I'm playing them all back to back with no distractions of any other games. And I'm blown away as to how good these games are, even the old ones, and how much shine I feel they didn't get. But again, that's Microsoft's fault. Either they didn't promote it right, or they didn't build enough around it, or maybe that's it. We're at Gears 5. Maybe it's time to let that go and start something new. So IPs really do matter. And ISO brought that to my attention, even not on purpose. It was just because I couldn't name any other IPs from Microsoft, which is crazy. Let me know what you guys think, man. Am I tripping? Does Microsoft have a lot more IPs? And don't come at me with State of Decay 2 and all that stuff, like legit IPs. Like games that if you mention to somebody in the middle of the street, they're gonna know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Any casual gamer is gonna know what you're talking about. Doc Dog 1985, there's levels to this. We out. Peace.